All right, welcome everyone to episode 5 of the DenSI podcast. Laura, can you believe it's already been 5 episodes?
I don't even know how you keep track.
It feels more like 3 to me. All right, we have 2 great panelists, and Rebecca might join us in a second as she tours the country right now in her car. We have Hugh, we have Lindsay. Welcome both of you. Will you just take a moment, tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do, and how many times you've been to Summer Institute. Hugh, start us off, please.
Hello. My name is Hugh McDonald, at Hugh the Teacher on Twitter. This is my first trip to DenSI. I am a grade 6 teacher in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. Go Canada! And I'm heavily involved with the Genius Hour movement and heavily involved with trying to share meaningful stories of the learning that goes on in our school.
All right, well, welcome, Hugh. Lindsay, let's head over to you. Thanks for coming back to this episode.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I'm Lindsay Foster. I live in Fort Worth, Texas, or a suburb of Fort Worth, Texas, and I teach right now kindergarten through 5th grade technology applications and computers at a suburban school in Eagle Mountain Saginaw ISD, which is a school district. And I don't know. This is my second podcast, so.
You're a pro at this point. Lindsay, I have a question for you. This totally has nothing to do with the podcast. Your Twitter handle, where does that come from?
My Twitter handle, I know because you asked me about that last year. Like, that's really weird. The BS is Boy Scout, the GS is Girl Scout, the CS is Scout, and then my last name Foster, because at the time I created Twitter, my Twitter handle, I was using it for scouting.
My big question was, where'd the Foster come from, really, on that All right. Rebecca, we see you driving around the country there. If you're able to just let us know who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Hey, Oh, she's muted.
Well, can you hear me?
Yep,
Yeah,
go for it.
we got you.
There we go. Sorry about that. I was going from Wi-Fi to cellular. So I'm Rebecca Lang at Rebecca C. Lang on Twitter. And I'm sorry, what was the other part of the question?
There's like 20 questions to answer right now. No, just who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Okay. Well, I teach 7th and 8th grade math currently. My background is actually English 7 to 12, but I work at a school right now, a charter school where we integrate all the subjects together, and it's been really fun being able to teach algebra to 7th and 8th grade students and really connect it back to my passion in English and science and social studies as well. I'm teaching in Pennsylvania right now, and that's really where I was born and raised, in eastern Pennsylvania.
All right, the beautiful eastern Pennsylvania. I had the opportunity to be out there this fall. It's a very beautiful area. All right, Hugh, I'm going to start with you. First Summer Institute that you're going to this year, Washington, D.C. What are you not necessarily afraid about, but what is your biggest question going into Summer Institute?
Biggest question? How am I going to get from the airport to the... No, just kidding. Just how am I going to connect with everybody? Because for me, this is a new community, and I don't know a lot of people in the community. So just how do I put myself out there, and how do I get to meet as many people as I possibly can?
All right. Well, first off, Laura will pick you up from the airport. No worries there.
Yeah.
Lindsay, can you kind of talk to that a little bit? How Hugh can get connected in right away?
Absolutely. First of all, I have a Google sheet that I got put in charge, or asked to be put in charge of travel coordination. So if you put your flight information on the Google sheet, Hugh, we'll make sure that we hook you up with people that are and get you to DenSI, no problem.
Yeah, I've done that. Sorry to interrupt. I've done that, but the only person I know that's coming in at about the same time is the person I'm traveling with.
Not everybody's got their information on there, so trust me, there'll be more.
Okay.
We'll get you there. We'll help you. And if not, I'll send Laura to pick you up. There are a lot of ways to connect with different people at DenSI. The first night that you're there, there's a big mixer that everybody participates in, and you get a chance to immediately connect with 2 people, and then you'll sit at tables and you have suite mates. That's why you have roommates at Dennis I. And different people will, I encourage you to eat breakfast and lunch and dinner with different people, change tables, because that's the way you can connect with new people. And this podcast, people are going to watch that, and all the 6th grade teachers are going to hunt you out and find you because they're interested in connecting with you because you teach 6th grade or whatever subject you teach, or you're a middle school teacher, so the middle school people will connect with you. There are lots of ways, and trust me when I say that there are going to be people who hunt you down and find you because they want to talk to you.
The Canadians will find you.
We'll make sure.
We will
Not like zombies Not scary, but there
No,
are
I know.
people
It's all good.
that saw your podcast that want
No,
to.
they're scary.
They're scary.
We'll make sure you get connected. That's for certain. Rebecca, what's a question you have coming into Summer Institute for the first time? Not necessarily your sphere, but like your biggest. What's going to happen?
This is sounding a lot like summer camp for adults and teachers. It sounds like we'll be just networking with a lot of people, learning some new skills, and just having a really good time. Is there anything like I should pack that's out of the ordinary, or anything I should anticipate that's just totally different?
Lindsay, I think you have that answer.
Oh yeah, and this will help you too. The way I made immediate friends was to pack a power strip, and because everybody brings all their tech, and they'll have their laptops, their iPads, their iPhones, their Samsungs, their tablets, you name it, they've got it. Last year somebody brought a drone, and people need to be able to literally plug in, and if you have a power strip, you will make immediate friends, so bring your tech. Don't worry about clearing security with all that technology, because when we all go to the airport, they all check us.
We just set the record for the number of devices mentioned in the podcast. One thing we also talked about in a previous episode was bringing deodorant. That's also a great way to make. So just make sure you pack those 2 things: power strip, even a extension cord wouldn't hurt either.
Extra toothbrushes.
And deodorant.
And then, your costume.
Yeah, there's a Thursday night. There's a the closing celebration, and you'll definitely need to bring a costume for that. Hang tight. We'll be getting more about the costume tomorrow when Porter's on our podcast.
Ooh.
Is there a theme? Is that what she's going to announce?
Yeah, there's a theme, and the crazier the better.
Like 2 years ago, the theme was come dressed as something that represents either your state or province. Last year was anything to do with music.
Yeah.
So there's been some theories thrown about on social media. So
we'll find out for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out from Porter what the theme's going to be.
Last year we had everything from iPods to famous band people to a glitter ball.
No, she was a disco ball.
I'm sorry, disco ball. That's right. She was a disco ball.
It was the disco ball.
Back to you on this question here. What's the one thing that you kind of really hope to pull from Summer Institute?
Well, for me, I just went through the ambassador program earlier this year, and for me, it's just being able to pull some of the different strategies that people have used, some of the SOS strategies, some of the streaming videos that people have used, and just being able to talk to people and see how they use them in their room, and I can share a few of the ones that I've learned, and I've used consistently in my room and successfully. That's the biggest part for me, and just how do they use the DEN tools in their classroom, and yeah.
Well, I know the SOS strategies are really going to be heavily talked about at Summer Institute, so you should be.
They're kind of like going through a revamp.
Yes, right? So you should be definitely good there. All right, Rebecca, what is one thing you hope to pull from Summer Institute?
Well, I'm still a fairly new teacher. I have 2 years of English teaching under my belt and 2 years of math and a couple of subbing positions here and there. But I really just want to connect with expert teachers who really know a lot about teaching middle school students in general, good pedagogy and strategies that will apply across the curriculum.
right. Well, we have a Laura's top 10 that we're going to share now. These are
It's a new segment.
a new segment here. By this time that you're watching, it's an old segment. But we have Laura's top 10. The first one is do not miss activities at DenSI. So our third one is the Denovator Fair.
What was the second one?
The second one was the Den Amazing Race.
Oh, that could be fun.
You have to go back and
Oh
watch
boy.
more for that one.
Yeah, don't miss the Den Amazing Race.
It's incompetent.
It's exactly like it sounds.
Awesome.
That sounds.
I can't wait.
This fair is a chance for you to show off your craft skills, your geeky tech side, and to make things and then share them with the Den community. Last year it was huge. It was a huge success, and it lasted hours, I think.
If not minutes.
Many hours. No,
It's a great project.
it's totally optional, right? You do not have to volunteer, especially if it's your first year. There will be like a ton of people who will. But you'll have people making things from puppets to I think there was like a key hider thing last year that was made out of like rock stuff. I'm trying to remember everything, but it was overwhelming how many people showed up to present their cool sort of crafty techie ideas.
We have LED ping pong balls and make your own hula hoops that travel with you.
You get time? Is that what it is?
Hugh, what's the question?
You get time to work with people to build something? Is that essentially what it is?
You do.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like walking around at a fair, basically, right? There's a whole bunch of booths that everybody sets up, and then you walk around and you make things at their tables.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like a crazy craft science fair combo thing.
Exactly.
Cool.
All right. The next list is top 10 things to do and remember to get the best from NSI. Laura, what's number 3?
It's to talk to as many people as possible. That should be your goal, is to try and talk to somebody new, or at least get more out of someone you've talked to every day. Some people recommend sitting with different people at lunch. Just sitting with somebody that you've never sat before in a session. Sitting next to somebody out in the hallway, but just talking as much as you can, so you can learn as much as you can.
All right. Lindsay, can you talk a little bit about that? Talk about the learning that happens outside of the actual sessions as well?
Oh, wow. There's so much learning that happens in the sessions, but it's almost like the best learning happens in the hallway or out on the patio or standing in the doorway. And take that time. Do not feel like you're doing something insulting or something bad if you want to step out in the hallway and have a conversation with somebody. That is what people want to do. And when you say, can I have a minute of your time, most people are going to say absolutely sure and visit with you, because they really do want to talk with you and share with you. I see Laura nodding her head. And it happens all the time. You'll see these side conversations and people will get their laptops out and they just start in on a project. So it very much quickly springs up, and those kinds of things happen all the time. And make sure that in the evening, there's lots of evening events and activities, that you participate in those as well. Get down into the common area and join in. Even if you're cheering, there'll be people acting as cheerleaders. There'll be people that are actually actively participating in the activity. But get out there, because that's where those conversations happen.
All right. So Hugh, that kind of talks a little bit about what you're connecting with others.
That's awesome.
All right. Last one, Laura. 10 ways to avoid burnouts at DenSI.
Right. So I was talking about connections, right? So this kind of is what we've all been talking about, but learning from other people too. So don't worry about making sure you go to absolutely every single session. Worry about making sure that you connect with people.
This really comes back to the comment of the smartest person in the room is the room itself. So any thoughts from anyone, Hugh, Lindsay, Rebecca, on this has really been the connection episode, I guess you could call it. Any questions you have about how the connection might happen?
Are either Hugh or Rebecca, are either of you coming in early or staying after?
I am coming in on the 11th, so I'll be in there the evening before it starts.
Mm-hmm.
we're staying just outside, or traveling like this for a district, Bethesda.
Yep.
Bethesda, Maryland.
Yeah, which about I'm told about 15, 20 minutes from where we're staying. I know Robin Thiessen. I'm traveling with her. Her and
I love Robin.
Yeah, so we're traveling together coming in, and we're staying at the same hotel, so we're open that night.
Because there will be people scheduling like sightseeing activities beforehand as well.
Okay.
And that's a great way to get to know a smaller group of people before the event ever starts. Some people will be involved in the leadership council activities, but there'll be other people that'll be sightseeing in Washington, D.C. I know there's a group of us coming in early, and we're going on a pirate cruise down the Potomac at night.
I saw that. That looked really interesting. My trouble is where to stay beforehand. Would I book a hotel separately? Because I'm just driving in. I could come in whenever.
If you come in early or if you plan to stay late, you are responsible for your accommodations. But there's a Google sheet that's available, and I don't have the link, and I don't have a tiny URL for it. Sorry. That has some sightseeing activities. It's posted in Edmodo, and it also has some of the hotels that people are staying at. So if you're coming in on like the 11th, you could check out one of those hotels, or maybe even if you want to split the cost of a room, meet a roommate.
Okay. I noticed the accommodations feature, so I'm going to have to go back through Edmodo and find that.
Yeah, definitely make sure you're frequenting the Edmodo group. Lots of fun things happening there. Okay, guys, we are out of time for this episode. Real quick, I want to give you all 15 seconds to share anything you want. Hugh, go.
I just want to thank Discovery Education for the opportunity to be able to come all the way across the country to meet some awesome people and travel to the capital of the United States. I have never even been to the capital of Canada yet, so this is quite an exciting venture for me.
Awesome. Lindsay?
I am looking forward to meeting Hugh and Rebecca and meeting Brandon because he attended a Dennis I didn't go to, and I can't wait to see Laura, and I'm very excited for the opportunity to attend another Dennis I courtesy of Discovery Education, the best personal and professional development I've ever gotten and that anyone ever will get. So thank you so much, DE.
Thank you, Lindsay. And Rebecca, last word from you.
Thanks for putting up with me doing this Google Hangout on my cell phone. This is definitely a first for me. I cannot wait to meet everybody in person and just see what Den SI is all about. It's going to be really exciting. Thank you.
All right, well, we're glad you could join us for your first Google Hangout. That's what we're here for. That's what the network is all about, just experiencing new things. For all your Den community stuff, head over to dencommunity.com. Laura, anything from you?
I'm not actually going to be there at the Summer Institute, but I'm happy to drive all the way from California just to, help you with your travel arrangements and, pick up and stuff. But I will be joining you virtually at the Not at Dennis I group. I'm very sad. It's like hitting me now how sad I am about not going, but I will be there with you in spirit.
All right, Laura's going to take a moment for herself, and we will see everyone at the next episode of the Dennis I Podcast. That'll be episode 6, I believe. So thank you all for joining us, and have a great evening.
Nice meeting you, everyone.